We're back with another 2K experiment. Or do y'all need me to say we back? Regardless, y'all know that we here. First video 2019, and I wanted to start it off with a bang. In the video a few weeks ago, we did it where we put the player progression rate all the way to 100 and the regression rate all the way up to 0. And in that video, we saw so many players develop to a 99. We had like Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, James Harden, Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic. All these players ended up being like a 99 overall, right? But now we're doing the exact opposite of that, where we see players get worse, and not just by a little bit, but by a lot. So we're going to simulate a few seasons and see what the NBA would look like if every player basically got his powers taken away by the people from like Space Jam, you feel me? So let's get into it. We're going to randomly select the team. This is not a rebuild or anything. The Magic, fine. We're going to put everything on auto. I don't want anything to say with the Orlando Magic's future. We just here to look at overalls as they go up. Or not up, ever. I don't think anybody's overall is going to go up unless this is the only situation where a player's overall will go up, and that is if he was in the G League. Because for some reason, G League players are unaffected by everything that goes on in the league. So I'll bring in a draft class. I'm going to simulate the first season. We'll see how good, or again, how bad players get. All right, so here are the awards after the first season. Colin Sexton won the Rookie of the Year award. He averaged 21, which is crazy. Inez Cantor won Most Improved, but everything else is pretty normal. Playoff time, we're going to speed playoffs up because, again, it doesn't matter too much to what this video is about. Y'all know how it go. The typical matchup in the finals. What I was just looking at was that the Brooklyn Nets ended up being the 2 seed, which is crazy. I don't know how. And it doesn't look like they made any trades. They just ended up being the second best team in the East, even though they lost in the first round. But they finished with, oh, okay, the Eastern Conference sucked this year. Got it. The Eastern Conference sucked. The Detroit Pistons made it with a 38-win record. But anyway, this is where things about to get good, man. I'm going to skip all of this. Oh, well, actually, league meetings is something I need to make sure nothing is approved. But we skipping all of this and going straight to player progression to see how bad does LeBron get going into, what, his age 34 season. Stuff like that. All right, let's get it. Free agency and all. We picked up Eric Bledsoe on the team, which is, Orlando always needed a point guard. But here we go. Eric Bledsoe gets a little bit worse. We get Bo with our first round pick. Him and Mo Bamba, I guess. But I guess it don't really matter because Mo Bamba went down to a 75. John Isaac gets a lot worse. Like I said, if they were in the G League, their overalls were still going to go up. I knew that. But wow, this is just, y'all thought the Orlando Magic team is bad. Now, got a little bit worse. Luka Doncic. 20-year-old. He said, I just had one of the best rookie seasons, but I'm getting a lot worse. And he goes down 4 overall spots. A lot of these players pretty much staying the same. But then you got Dennis Smith Jr. It seems like the younger dudes are getting a lot worse. And then the really old dudes at 35, JJ Barea goes down 5. Chris Middleton signs in Indiana. That's interesting. If we were talking real life. Taj Gibson signs there, and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. They had some money to spend. They went out and reformulated their whole roster, but it don't matter because they got a lot worse. AD gets worse. Jrue Holiday gets worse. Alex Poitras goes up, but again, G League player. Where are the crazy ones? PJ Tucker goes down by 5. That hurts him so much because, he's already pretty old. Kelly Oubre signs with the Spurs. He goes down a bunch. DeJounte Murray. Yeah, it seems like the younger dudes are going down. These are rookie sophomore players going down by 3s and 4s. D Book goes down by 3. TJ Warren goes down by 1. Aiden by 4. Jeff Green by 4. We're going to do this for a few seasons, like I said, and we're just going to see after like 5 or 6 seasons, right? What does the NBA look like since everybody's getting a little bit worse? And even the players that aren't, oh my God, Karl Anthony Towns an 84 overall now. That is a big time yikes. But even though like we got players like Kevon Looney, right? Kevon Looney didn't get worse, but I promise you he'll get worse next season. Like all of his stats are going down a little bit. It just didn't show up in his overall just yet. But wow, that's crazy that Cat took that big of a hit. Rudy Gay gets a lot worse. Tony Parker gets a lot worse. Caleb Swan again. We get to the Warriors. Steph Curry's now only a 93. Draymond Green is an 84, which in real life kind of makes sense to me. They pick up Pau Gasol. Ooh, this Warriors team is going to be the exact opposite of tough. they're going to be like a walkthrough team. Well, I mean, once you have Steph Curry, you're never a walkthrough, but you get what I'm saying. They're just not the same team that they were once upon a time, obviously. Ben Simmons goes down by 5. That's a rating lower than what he was as a rookie. And y'all know one stat they can't really move because it's already an F. Okay, I'm gonna chill with the Ben Simmons can't shoot jokes. Markelle Fultz is a 71, and at this rate, we're talking like when he's a year 4 player, Markelle Fultz overall is going to be in the 60s. That's crazy. Giannis gets worse. Boom. This is just how things are going, and this is very weird. So what we're gonna do? Laurie gets so much worse. Ouch, that hurts as a Bulls fan, but Jabari Parker doesn't. Okay, Wendell Carter gets a lot worse. Man, he's a lower overall than Dwayne Dedmon nowadays. But what I'm going to do next season is I'm going to see how much this impacts the stats of players. Like, obviously, players were averaging 25, 26 last year. But since everybody's just a little bit worse, are we still going to have players having great seasons? Or does the league drop so much that we talking like people don't want to watch anymore because we ain't got like LeBron putting up crazy stats? And we still haven't seen LeBron, which we will. Or have we seen him? I'm not sure. If we haven't, we will see him very soon. Jaren Jackson Jr. drops by 5. Zaza Pachulia drops by 6. And I'm okay with that. We don't need Zaza in this league no more. John Collins drops by 2. Klay Thompson signed with the Hawks. That's kind of interesting. Where is Trae Young? Oh, his 3-point shot is a C right now. The Heat, boom. The Hornets, Kemba resigns, but he gets a little bit worse. And we didn't think he had help before. Now, with everybody dropping like this, he definitely ain't got it. Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell's now to an 82. Derrick Rose goes down a little bit, but it's still D Rose, baby. He still got all of our love. Yikes. He averaged 22 last season, drops down by 4. And here's LeBron. All right, LeBron drops by 1. So LeBron is still a king in his league. He's still a 98 overall. Brandon Ingram gets worse. Lonzo's now a 73 overall. That is disgusting. And now we're back to the Orlando Magic. So I'm going to simulate the next season, and then we'll look at stats and then get back to player regression. So as far as stats go, yeah, players are still doing great. I mean, Giannis just put up a 28, 13, and 5 season. He didn't even win MVP. MVP went to Jokic. Jokic won MVP. So, Jokic had a great year too. 22, 15, and 7. It seems like player stats are going up even higher. I mean, here is my conclusion with this, right? My theory with this. We got players going crazy, right? The superstars are going crazy. First, dang, RJ put up 25 his rookie season. He didn't even win Rookie of the Year. Y'all. But my theory is because the lowest of the low, right, are so bad. For example, look at our roster. Our best players are 82. So Giannis may be dropping 50s on us nightly. Especially if Giannis goes against like our bench role players. So the elite players are just dominating the not so elite players. For example, Terrence Ross, what do you average this season, man? Just want to know. He averaged 9. And then he was playing against players like Giannis, guarding Giannis since they're both the same position. And Giannis dropping 28 a night on him. So that's my theory. Because, I mean, it gets a bit of a drop off once we get to like the normal role players, right? So like, who is Talon Tucker? I guess he's a rookie. Okay, he is. It's a bit of a drop off. But anyway, we're in the playoffs. I'm going to speed this up for y'all. Raptors won the finals. Good for them. So let's get into it, man. To player regression after we get to these league meetings. I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time around. I'm not going to show y'all every single team. I'll just show y'all the significant teams or the significant players that dropped a lot. Because at the end of the day, who cares about certain teams don't get that much love. You feel me? Luka Doncic down by 5 more. 21 years old. Last year, he put up 12 and 6. Significantly worse as far as stats go to last year, but he shot the ball better. So you decide if that was a good season or a bad season. But significantly worse, down to a 75. So DeJounte Murray's value has dropped so much that San Antonio didn't even throw him an offer, so he signed with the Brooklyn Nets. He is now a 70 overall. But the Nets gave him a 1-year, $12 million deal. So, I mean, though his overall may not be high, he making that paper. MVP Jokic drops down by 3. Paul Millsap is down to a 75. Jamal Murray is down to a 75. This is crazy. Miles Turner is going to lose his minutes to John Henson. Never in a million years would I expected that. But it got so bad that they traded him to Utah, right? And they said, you know what? We want you back. And they traded back for him. So this is very, very weird. Maybe I should be tracking trades, because a player like Miles Turner normally would have some decent trade value, but now he's getting so much worse that trade value's out the window. So now we get the regression of Kawhi Leonard after winning Finals MVP. He drops down by 2. Kyle Lowry is now just a 81 overall at 34 years old. I also want to see if, because players are getting so much worse, does that mean they're going to start retiring a little bit earlier? For example, is there a player on this team that's really old? Nope. Let's see. One of these teams is going to have like a really old player. Boban. Right, Boban's 31. That's not even really old. But since he's dropping so much in overall, who knows? He may retire earlier than what he would in real life, because who gonna get Boban a contract if his overall is a 68 overall? I mean, I probably would as a GM because it's Bobby, but other teams maybe not. Is a 65 overall, making him close to the worst player on his team. 4th overall pick just a few years ago. It got so bad, he didn't even play last season. Yikes! Lou Williams dropped a total of 7 overall points. That is crazy. But I mean, he still put up 11 a game. You know, that's not terrible. But at a 69 overall, he may not even be in the rotation no more. Cat is now just an 80. An 80 overall. We talk about a player that was voted 2 years in a row the player that most GMs will want to rebuild their team with, and now he's just down to an 80. Last year, just 15 PPG, and who knows how much is going to drop now that he's just an 80. Ben Simmons now a 78 overall. Wow. Last year, what was his stats like? Oh my God, last year he played phenomenal still. He put up 17 points per game, 8 rebounds, 7.5 assists. But now at a 78 overall, what are those numbers going to look like? Markelle is now a 68-69 overall. This is, I mean, hey, he shot 45% from 3, 50% from the free throw line. That is tough. That is tough. Jason Tatum drops by 5, but we got Marcus Thornton, who is the only player, it seems like the only player to go up in overall. I'm guessing, like I said earlier, is that he was in the G League, but he went up by 7. That is almost as good to take some of Jason Tatum's minutes. That is, he will be in the rotation over Jaylen Brown and Romeo Langford. Oh my God. They need to send like LeBron to the G League, because I mean his overall won't go down, right? Make LeBron a two-way player. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped down by 5. But listen, if LeBron is a two-way player, he can play in the real league and his overall don't drop. That is the recipe. Oh my God, Jaren Jackson Jr. is now 72. That is the recipe for having your team be good, is you sit in your best player and make him a two-way player. The best player on the Knicks as far as overalls go, it's Enes Kanter over Kristaps. Last year, Kristaps averaged 18. And that's pretty good, but Enes Kanter is a star player. It literally says up there, low post star. LeBron has started to regress, y'all, but he's still like the best player in the league. Where is Lonzo? Lonzo is a 70 overall. Yikes. Okay, so what I'm about to do, since we're back to my Orlando Magic, I'm going to simulate next year. I'm going to go 2 years in the future before the next time y'all see me, okay? 2 years. So remember some of the stuff y'all saw. LeBron as a 95 and so on and so forth. And we'll see how much 2 years matter in a simulation like this. All right, y'all. So we are finally 2 years from the last time we cut. And I say finally because simulation and NBA 2K19 takes years. It takes so long just to simulate a single season, y'all. What happened? 2K used to be like rapid fire the past couple years, but now it's just trash. But okay, let's see how things have gotten, all right? Aaron Gordon is now a 76. This is my team. They suck. I don't care about this Orlando Magic team. They have not made the playoffs, okay? The Mavericks, we still got Boogie at an 86 overall. Gordon Hayward is down to a 76. Harrison Barnes down. Luka is now a 68 overall. 68. I am honestly surprised that they gave him the money that he got at a 68. They gave this man a contract where he's making close to $20 million a year. And he was in his he was 70 overall when they gave him that contract. So 2K hasn't evolved to that point because players that are absolutely trash, like Malik Monk is a 61 overall, right? They still paid him $9 million. So 2K hasn't got to the point where the overall matters because D'Angelo Russell, $28 million left on his deal. Yikes. And he is a 73 overall, and that makes him the third best player on that team. So basically, if you don't have a superstar on your roster, your team is absolutely trash. And Jokic, who won MVP just a few years ago, is now down to an 80 overall. What type of numbers did he put up this season? 17, which is still pretty good for Nikola Jokic. But that just lets you know how things have gone. Michael Porter Jr. is a 64. Kevin Knox is a 61. Jamal Murray's not even on the roster anymore. I don't know where he's at. Things are just terrible. But when I looked at the stats right before this, we still have players. Drew Holiday is a 67 overall. We still have plenty of players averaging upwards of 25 points. Like Anthony Davis averaged 23. And just like, oh, Ryan Arcidiacono is a starting point guard for the Detroit Pistons. That's a big yikes. But that's just how things are going. I want to continue this, y'all. I want to go like 3 more seasons. In 2024, how good or how bad will the NBA be? Kawhi Leonard is only an 85, which is still one of the best overalls in the league. Kyle Lowry's just dropped 7 overall points. That is crazy. That is crazy. So yeah, I want to keep going. I want to go like 3 more years off camera, and then we're going to see what the final overalls is for all of these players. Like James Harden is finally starting to regress. I just looked at player retirement. We had Carmelo Anthony retired, but I mean he didn't have a job in like 3 years, so he finally retired. DeMar DeRozan, a player who has been an all-star for how many years now? How many times was DeMar DeRozan an all-star? 4-time all-star DeMar DeRozan. It's got to the point where he is just a 71 overall. All of the skill is out of DeMar DeRozan. And now, like, a lot of the league are just random players that are on draft classes because the normal guys can't get spots on rosters anymore. Trae Young is a 62 overall. 62 overall, and he's with the Spurs now. Devin Booker is the best player on the Suns, but he's just a 74 now at 25 years old. So this experiment got players like De'Aaron Fox and Devin Booker playing together, which in real life would be decent, which in real life would have been possible if they would have drafted him over Josh Jackson. But it don't mean nothing anymore because they're both very, very bad. Very, very bad. Josh Jackson's not even on the roster anymore. We got Russell Westbrook dropping down to an 85. We got Paul George as a 79. Lonzo got traded to the Grizzlies. So that's funny. I just want to see where players like LeBron are at. I'm just looking through every team and see if there's anything significant. A lot of these players are people that we don't know because they're just like randomly generated players. But I want to see, let's just go right to LeBron. Where is LeBron at? Oh, Kristaps is now the best player on the Knicks again. So shout out to him. LeBron is just a 89 overall. That is very, very tough. Okay, so I want to do one more thing before we get, like, again, I'm going to simulate like 3 seasons in. I'm going to stop whenever there's anything significant happen. So I'm going to be looking through player retirements to see if some of these young players retire. I'm going to be looking at statistics and see if some of the statistics are just bad. But last thing I want to do before we do that, I want to look at free agency. I want to see how many good players in real life are free agents right now because they're so bad that they can't get an NBA contract. So Justice Winslow. Mason Plumlee can't get a job. Luke Cornett. I mean, I guess that Luke Cornett don't matter too much. Luke Kennard, Brandon Ingram. He was just a two-way player. Oh my God. 66 overall, Brandon Ingram. That little sign means he was in the G League, y'all. That little sign next to his name says he was in the G League. All right, y'all. So I know I said I wanted to go into 2025. I think we're in 2024, but I think we're going to have to stop it here because basically everybody that you know and love in the NBA is getting to the point of retirement. Just look at all of these players that we know and we are fans of that are no longer going to be in the league. I know this is a little dry spell. Nobody super loves players like Norman Powell, Yogi Ferrell, but Lonzo's no longer there. DeJounte Murray is gone. Michael Porter Jr. If you love Cameron Payne for some reason, you kind of sad because he's done. And then last year we had players like Brandon Ingram was gone, and just like everybody that we care and we love about, they were all gone. They're all going on to their next lives of retirement or playing overseas because they can't make NBA rosters no more. So this is the last year we're actually going to look at it. I'm super surprised that LeBron is still in the league. I think he's going to go on 40 years old at the end of December of this season. So it's so surprising that LeBron is still around. But he is. But lastly, last season we're going to do, I've been here for almost 2 hours trying to get through this. And we're only, 6 seasons in? That's just how slow 2K progression is, or 2K simulation is. So, as you can see, on this roster, not many names that you know because all of those guys are either out of the league, retired, or in free agency. So, the only guys you actually know on this roster is Aaron Gordon and Enes Kanter. That's the only guys on this entire roster that you know. And that's kind of the theme over all these teams. We got DeMarcus Cousins, we got Dario Saric, we got JaMychal Green, we got some players here. We still have Luka, but Luka's so far under the barrel that he's not even getting worse. They just letting him be at 25 years old. Still making $20 million, so I respect them a lot for that. But it's just how things are going, man. So I'm just going to go through these and try to find some players that you know, see how bad they've gotten, and we're going to wrap up the video. Kawhi Leonard is now a 74 overall. That's a big yikes. That is a big yikes. Spicy P is the best player on the Toronto Raptors nowadays. So, that's a dub for somebody. Jonas Valanciunas is now 67, so he's got so much worse. The Rockets still have James Harden, but at 34 years old, he's a 77 overall. He's not the same killer. Oh, my God. Yeah, he's still a killer. That's what's so weird about these things. Even though everyone's overall is still dropping, you would expect them to shoot extremely inefficient or stuff like that, but he shot 42%, which no, it's not his best year. That's actually his career, close to his career worst, other than his rookie season. But those are still decent, very good numbers. So, when everybody's getting worse, they're still, oh my God, Chris Paul's almost 40. I'm surprised he is not out of the league. He shot 35%. Now that's bad. And 29 from 3. Devin Booker, this team is so bad. 73 is the highest overall, and I think this is a rookie, right? Yeah, this is a rookie. So Devin Booker, he averaged 12 points per game last season, shot 40%. I'm rounding up for a little bit. De'Aaron Fox averaged 6 points per game, and he shoots 36%. This is actually a little more interesting, actually. I'm going to go over here and just look at it this way, because I want to know if everybody had a career low shooting year. Steph Curry shot 48%, which is still very good, but by Stephen Curry's standards, not very good. He shot 44% from 3, so Stephen Curry's still doing his thing. He's only an 81 overall, but he led the league in scoring. Kyrie Irving, you see his numbers going down. I mean, as far his scoring is almost at an all-time high. The guy just averaged 28 in the season, but he's not averaging the highest of field goal percentage, and I'm guessing that's because he has to take so many field goals. Yeah, he took an extra 300 field goals this season because everybody else on his team is like a 70 overall, so he got no choice but to take all the shots. Same thing with Giannis. Giannis don't take no jumpers, obviously. He's still a 90 overall, by the way, so he's still doing great, but 50% from Giannis. Zach LaVine, this is how much of a drop-off we have. We have somebody that averages 27 points per game, and then the next guy averages 22, and that's Zach LaVine. And I think he just won Most Improved Player this season, right? Yeah, Most Improved Player this season. So we got Joel Embiid is at 60 or 85 overall. Where is LeBron? Kevin Durant only averaged 18 points per game. He's 35 years old. Man, he's just got up there in age. So he's probably going to be retiring soon. But he was still all NBA last year. But LeBron averages 17 points per game, 5 assists. He's only an 80 overall at this point. He's about to be 40, and nothing in here says that he's planning on retiring after this season. So LeBron's still going strong. LeBron is still going strong. Kemba, 76. Same thing with Russell Westbrook. Everybody, eventually, this is how the league is going to be. Not the overall goals, but in a few years, the great point guards, the great players we love seeing today are going to be old. And it's going to be newer people stepping in and trying to take the throne. I'm not looking forward to that because I love players like Russell Westbrook, Dame Dollar, Kemba Walker. But the next generation will be coming eventually. Last thing I want to see is the NBA records. LeBron is the all-time leading scorer in the NBA now. That's what I wanted to see. By 4,000 points, too. That is crazy. By 4,000. For three-pointers made, Stephen Curry destroys Ray Allen. Damian Lillard and James Harden also destroy Ray Allen's record. LeBron is 6th. LeBron is 6th in three-pointers made, and he still got at least one more season left, so he'll probably end up being 5th all-time. Karl Malone is still... LeBron doesn't take that record from Karl Malone. Rebounding goes... Nope. Dwight Howard ends up 7th. Assisting, Chris Paul. That's why Chris Paul ain't retired. He's trying to catch up to John Stockton, but that is an impossible task. He ends up as number 2, and LeBron is number 4 right now. Blocks. No current day players are even close to beating this record besides Dwight Howard at 13. Steals, Chris Paul is also trying to catch John Stockton on the steals, but probably not going to happen either. Minutes per game, LeBron takes that. Turnovers, LeBron takes that. Russell Westbrook is 3rd. Points per game, all the per game stuff don't matter too much. But that is pretty much it, y'all. I appreciate you getting to this point in the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like. A longer experiment for y'all, but I hope that it was worth your time. We ended up getting Jeff Peters. He was the number 5 draft pick this year. He's a 77. Y'all know how next year he's going to be like a 72. This has been Kenny. If you did enjoy it, in the comment section below, type LBJ just so I know you know that LeBron took number 1 on points in a career. Thank you. Peace.